welcome back to our channel, Our Way versus God's Way. What's an altar? And what's a covenant? Well, an altar is known to be a place where sacrifices are made, where rituals are performed, a platform, a structure, a table, maybe. But it's that place. The covenant is the promise that's made at the altar. And of course, the promise usually has terms and conditions. For it to be binding, we have sacrifices mostly of blood. You can see in the Bible where we have animals being presented at the altar and sacrificed, and covenants are binding. Or let's take, for instance, God made covenants with many characters in the Bible. For example, David, he made promises with Abraham and even Noah. In the early part of Genesis, we see where Noah, after embarking from the ark, he made an altar for God. And God made a covenant, a promise, never to destroy the earth by flood again. Now, it's so profound to me when I think about God's promise. And I believe I know God never breaks his promise. God never breaks his covenant. Abraham was called by God and he was sent out, and God showed him the heavens and the stars. After taking him so far, Abraham followed. One thing I can say, when God chooses somebody, or when he speaks to you, or when he makes a covenant with you, you should never ever fear or doubt that he will fulfill it. And he has also promised him a legacy that would outlive him even after his death. And blessings, of course. People always talk about the blessings of Abraham. So no matter where he goes, he shall be blessed. And God promised, whoever curses him shall be cursed. What a covenant. Oh, what a covenant. So he has called Abraham to make this covenant. And of course, to seal the covenant, he has instructed Abraham to get animals and cut them in half, turtle dove and bird included. I don't think they cut the bird, but he has instructed him, and this was a ritual in those days. What this ritual meant, you walk through them, you cut them in pieces, cut them in half, and you put them on either side, and both persons would walk in between. And if what it symbolizes is that if they should ever break this covenant, this agreement that they've made, then they would be as the carcasses on the ground that is ripped apart, basically dead, ripped apart. And so this was legally, spiritually binding at the time. And to make it legally binding, like I said, both of them would walk through, and meaning that they are making these promises to each other, and neither of them shall break this promise. You know what's significant about this is that when Abraham prepared the carcasses, God himself walked through alone. Abraham did not walk through. And what this is saying is that God is creating a bond, a seal, a promise, a bind, a covenant with Abraham, whether or not Abraham should fail, whether or not Abraham should fail or not keep up his end of, because we're humans. God is saying no matter what, I will fulfill this promise to you. He has promised him kings and priests through his lineage. He has promised him land. He has promised him children, descendants as numerous of the star as the stars. And because of this covenant that God has made, even when the wife had grew tireless, or basically she was just tired of waiting. She said to herself, "Oh, I'm waiting so long, and when is this baby gonna come? And you know what? I better do something fast," because she felt like she was really old at this time. So she sent her servant and gave her servant to Abram to have a child to secure his legacy. She said, "Surely, at least, if is that she's saying, just in case I die, let me make sure that I can give him a son, even if I can't physically." And so when she gave Hagar the servant, Hagar bore him a son. And even then, in that doubt, God fulfilled his covenant through Ishmael, descendants, blessings, protection, because he's a descendant of Abraham. That was his promise. Sometimes we have, situations where we have friends or spouse or partners and so, and when they do something to offend them and they vex with you, them every promise gone. If they promise to take it to work every day, and one day you have an exchange of words and it wasn't very pleasant, and they say, "Oh, I'm not taking you to work." Well, God uh, is not like man. Even if you offend him, if he promised, and we should be like that, shouldn't we? And I'm talking to myself and a lot of persons who are Christians and maybe non-Christians, but who believe in God and believe in his promise, his word, that says that he will never leave you nor forsake you. No matter what is happening around you, whatever physical happenings, if you have faith and you remember that he is the God of the impossible, he is like a deliverer, a promise keeper. Just keep your eyes on the prize, keep your eyes on God, keep your eyes and have faith, and he will deliver. He will come true. If he makes a promise to you, many of you know what I'm talking about. Keep your eyes on the prize. Push forward. Keep the faith. He will never, ever leave you.